programs. For comparison, number 2 ranked Kentucky, which fell victim to the Peacocks, spent more than $138 million.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert in the Final Four. North Carolina will face Duke. Villanova will take on Kansas. The women are down to the Elite Eight. This is ABC News.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now, we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
This is ONN.
I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network. The bodies of 4 Marines, including one from Southeast Ohio who died in a military aircraft crash during a NATO exercise, have been transferred back to the U.S. ONN's Eric Brown reports.
Hundreds of Marines, sailors, service members, and civilians saluted the 4 fallen Marines in Norway early Friday as they departed to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. Sergeant James Speedy of Cambridge and 3 other Marines from Massachusetts, Indiana, and Kentucky died in a helicopter crash on March 18th in a Norwegian town in the Arctic Circle. Services for the Marines are pending, and the cause of the crash remains under investigation. Eric Brown, ONN News.
2 men have been sentenced to life in prison and a third to a shorter term in the grisly deaths of a man and his teenage daughter almost 3 years ago.
The bodies of 39-year-old Paul Bradley and 14-year-old Paris Bradley were found in October 2018 in a burning car in East Cleveland. Cuyahoga County prosecutors said 3 men had broken into a family home, tied up and beaten the man while demanding money, and eventually killed both. Assistant Prosecutor Gregory Paul called the slayings the result of, quote, a barbarism that I cannot explain, end quote. Defense attorneys for 2 of the defendants vowed to appeal. Daniel Barnett, ONN News.
AAA says gas is averaging $4.25 a gallon nationally today. It's $4.04 in Ohio. California checks in at $5.92. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly. Here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Honey, you know the twins are juniors in high school this year, right? You know what that means. We have to figure out how we're going to pay for college.
Looks like one of us is going to have to get a second job.
Or we could sell the boat and the motorcycle.
Like I said, one of us needs to get a second job.
Wait, I heard that Metro News is giving away a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan that includes room, board, tuition, and fees.
What? Room, board, tuition, and fees? That really is a full scholarship. And West Virginia Wesleyan is one of the best colleges in the entire state. We need to look into that.
And so do you. If you have a current junior in high school or know someone who does, go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the 2022 WV Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries. The application deadline is April 30th. It's easy to apply. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the Apply Now button today. Remember, the application deadline is April 30th.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it. The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about them either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go?
I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
Isn't it a bit early in the day for the bottle? Even for you?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for launch.
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe on WKKX and WVLY.
No, it's not too early for the bottle. I got the bottle cracked open here. I'm all ready to roll. Oh, it's just a bottle of Perrier water. A nice, good green bottle of nice, good fizzy water. It's good, baby. It's good. It is a cold morning this morning. 22 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 20 degrees here at the home studios, Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 20 degrees at the Robinson Autograph Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. It is going to be a cold day today. The best we're going to do is around freezing for our high today. Could even see a few lingering flurries this morning. Don't be surprised if there's a little white flake or flurry floating around this morning. Not a big deal, but it'll be there, just possibly. Sun may come up a little bit later on in the day. We will warm up. Look, 32 today, 70 on Wednesday. I mean, this has been a weird spring, Biff. You know, we've gone from, well, below freezing temperatures to near record temperatures. We've gone from beautiful sunshine, summer weather to winter weather that we've had this past weekend, and maybe some flakes and flurries today. It's like spring isn't sure what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster ride for sure.
32 today, 70 on Wednesday, just 2 days later. So, I don't know. I don't think spring is sure yet. Somebody needs to teach it. Somebody needs to talk to spring and say, let me explain to you what you're supposed to be. Mild temperatures, pleasant sunshine and breezes. And yes, because your springtime will accept a little bit of rain, but 32 today, 70 tomorrow. And 22 right now. Right here. As we kick things off at 7:12 in the morning. Now, Biff, there's a lot I want to get into today. We can talk some more about the fatal shooting on Wheeling Island. We've got the Ohio redistricting stuff to get into. President Biden is saying we got to get rid of Putin, and people are trying to figure out what the heck does that mean. I want to catch up on March Madness. Got a lot to do twixt now and 10 o'clock. But I got to start off with the Oscars. Did you see the Oscars last night, Biff?
Not a second of it.
I never watch any award show. I shouldn't say never, but I almost never watch any award show. I have no interest in it, especially in recent years. You know, I don't see too many movies anymore, so just absolutely no interest to me at all. Until I saw that there was literally a fight at the Oscars on the live telecast. Chris Rock is the MC, and Will Smith apparently, well, not apparently, you're going to hear it here. I mean, I saw the video, I heard it, you're going to hear it. Will Smith went berserk. Now, not everybody got to see it because on live TV, I guess they could see what was happening, so they cut the screen to black. The international broadcast carried the whole thing, and so it's been recorded, and we have it. So Chris Rock is doing a little, I guess you call it a mini monologue, talking about the and he's making fun of some of the celebrity couples who are in the audience, and he gets around to seeing Will Smith out there with his wife Jada Pinkett Smith, and so he makes this joke, which involves Jada Smith. Now, keep in mind, Jada Pinkett Smith has made it clear she has got a condition that's causing her to lose her hair, so she's kind of going a little bit bald. And that was sort of what Chris Rock was aiming for with this joke.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh. Richard.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
So the joke is G.I. Jane. Remember in the movie G.I. Jane, a long time ago, Demi Moore played a female that was going through the SEALs program, and her hair was cut. You know, she was basically shaved. Her head was bald. And so the joke was with Jada Smith, that, you know, she's going bald. Not particularly funny in my mind, but also not particularly offensive. It is what it is. In fact, if you watch the video, Will Smith is laughing. Chris Rock does the joke that you just heard him do, and you see the camera cuts to Will Smith. He's laughing. And then, all of a sudden, Will Smith gets out of his seat. This is on live television, strides down the runway, and punches Chris Rock in the face.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
He literally walked down the runway, walked up onto stage, and smacked Chris Rock in the face. Goes back, sits down, and says twice, "Keep your wife's name out of your bleeping mouth." My golly. The Oscars have always been so staid and good. I mean, the comment that's made most often about the Oscars is, well, that's pretty boring. There's nothing boring about it. I guess and Chris Rock, bless his heart, he's trying to figure out, what in the world do I do? So, I mean, you know, so he kind of makes a little bit of a joke about it, and he says, well, this is going to be the greatest fight in the history of the Oscars, and then he tries to go on, but it's like, geez, I don't know. Eventually went to a commercial break. During the break, I guess, all of Will Smith's friends kind of gather around and trying to calm him down, and you know, they're sitting down on their knees, talking to Jada and talking to Will. Now, guys, you calm down. Jason Nathanson from the ABC entertainment team says that afterwards, Will Smith seemed to have calmed down a little bit.
It was absolute craziness back here. When, seemingly making a joke, Chris Rock talked about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, and her short hair. Will Smith was having none of it, walked up on stage and smacked Chris Rock in the face, and then sat down and yelled curse words from the audience. We were all wondering, was this a joke? Did this actually happen? Well, Will Smith seemingly just confirmed that he actually did do that. In his acceptance speech, he won Best Actor and spent most of his speech apologizing, talking about how he wants to be an ambassador for love, saying he was sorry to the Academy, to all his fellow nominees, and Denzel Washington said to him during the break, "At your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you." And apparently, that's what happened.
When he apologized to the Academy. He apologized to his fans. He never apologized to Chris Rock for smacking him in the face and telling him to keep his bleeping mouth shut. Wow. I may start watching the Oscars again, Biff. They could add a whole new category, you know? Now the nominees for Best Fight during an Oscars telecast are... It's just crazy. You haven't seen this? Did you see this video this morning, Biff, in any of the newscasts?
I mean, I heard them talk about it, but I haven't seen anything. I mean, this is the first I've heard of it.
He literally got out of his seat, walked down the runway, and punches him right in the face. And then walks back, and again, the line he used twice, "Keep my wife's name out of your bleeping mouth. There's a lot of bleeping going on, by the way. Somebody, if you know how this works, you're the bleeper at our place. Somebody had to be keeping their finger bleep, bleep, bleep because Chris Rock's first response, Will Smith comes up, pounds him in the face. Chris Rock says, wow, Will Smith just beat the bleep out of me. Now, I'm laughing because to me, the whole thing is just typical celebrity idiocy at the Oscars. It's just, come on. This is what our entertainment world has come to. Now, let's be clear before I go any further. I probably would not have talked much about the Oscars at all today if it hadn't been for that. I don't know too many of the winners or the losers or the winners or the nominees. I didn't watch the show. I never watched the show. So what did this incident do? Hey, it put the Oscars at least back on the conversational map for the morning. A lot of people, then Twitter went off on this, Biff, and we know when Twitter gets onto things, oh boy, who knows what's going to happen. A lot of the folks on Twitter, pardon me, began to say it's not funny. I'm sitting here laughing. And a lot of folks on Twitter were saying, hey, wait a minute. This isn't funny. This isn't humorous. This was assault. Chris Rock was physically assaulted on live television. And whether it's Will Smith doing it or not, he was punched in the face, and that's assault. And we shouldn't be laughing about it. And we shouldn't be normalizing it. And we shouldn't be acting as if it's just sort of another part of the show. And when I stop to think about it, they make a good point. This was not, it was he didn't just yell at him and say, don't you talk about my, he walked up and punched him in the face. And you got to watch the video, Biff, when you get a chance to see it. Chris Rock isn't bleeding from the mouth or anything, but it was one good, hard, solid swack. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be making fun of it. I'm not sure. But I got to tell you, as a talk show host, when I went to sleep last night, this is the last thing I saw before I went to sleep last night, and I said to myself, yeah, now I got a show opener. Now I know where we're going in the morning. Hey, I'm sorry. It's one of the things as a talk show host I do. I go, oh, well, that's good for the show. So, I don't know. What do you think? You can let me know. Was it funny or was it assault? Did you watch the Oscars? Do you think, now, in the beginning, there were people saying Will Smith, this was some kind of a gimmick or some kind of a joke, but very quickly it became clear it wasn't. If you looked at Will Smith, you could see it wasn't really a joke. He did punch Chris Rock. You could hear it. You could hear you could see it, of course, but you could hear it as well. He gave him a good physical smack. I don't think it was part of the game. People went and looked to see. No, it was not in the rehearsal. This did not happen during the rehearsal. And Will Smith apologized. So I think it was honestly the emotion. One thing I don't understand, though, about Will Smith, I don't understand. Again, if you watch the video, or if you were watching it live by any chance, although, again, in America, you couldn't have seen it because they blacked it out in America. If you saw the video, when Chris Rock tells the G.I. Jane joke about Smith's wife, Will Smith is laughing. Will Smith is laughing. Everybody around, they're all laughing. They're kind of giggling, It was sort of a tepid laughter. But there was no question. He began by laughing at it. And then he went from that to all of a sudden, boom, up you went and punched him out. So again, on Twitter somewhere, someone said, Will Smith may have noticed his wife seemed to be upset and didn't like him laughing at it. So he decided to stand up and go up and give him a punch. I don't know. Biff, are you a Will Smith fan?
Yeah, I like Will Smith.
I've always liked him. I like his performances. He's done some weird things lately on his personal life and some of that stuff. I don't get into that too much. I've always liked him since going back to the days of, what was the show he was on when he was a kid, Biff?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
French Prince, thank you. Couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed him since then. I think back then he was good, and he's been good in almost every movie that I have seen him in. But boy, I don't know. Something sure happened there. All right, 7:24 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Before I leave the Oscars, Biff, why don't we take a quick look at who some of the winners were? A lot of these names I plain do not know. Some of them I've heard of, at least. Quite a few I haven't even heard of. But here are some of the winners from the Oscars last night.
For performance by an actress in a supporting role.
And the Oscar goes to Ariana DeBose, West Side Story.
Troy Kotsur. This is the first Oscar in nomination for Troy Kotsur. He is the second deaf actor to win. And the Oscar goes to
Will Smith!
Jessica Chastain, guys.
Best Picture. Coda.
Best Picture was Coda. Have you heard of that, Biff? I never even heard of Coda. I have no idea what it's about. Do you?
I couldn't tell you either.
I have not the foggiest idea what it's about. But most of those names just announced there. Other than Will Smith, of course, I knew. Most of the actors and actresses who were winners and the show that was the winner, I don't know. I just, I don't know them. I don't know who the two guys who were doing the announcing of the winners were, but you could tell in their voice they were kind of happy. Well, hey, Will's coming back. The winner is Will Smith. Will Smith. Boy. All right. 7:26 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I want to offer some thoughts on the Oscars, on the Oscars in general. Can somebody tell me what this movie Code is about? I don't know. If you want to talk about the movies, that's fine. The show, that's fine. Will Smith smacking Chris Rock in the mouth, that's fine. Was that joke a funny joke or a bad joke? It was a lame joke, I thought. I got what he was saying. G.I. Jane, shaved head, Jaden Smith losing her hair. I mean, but it wasn't the world's best joke. I didn't find it offensive, but any of these things you want to offer some thoughts on, do so. 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, or the CityNet hotline, 304-232-8255. Now, what else are we into this morning here on this Monday edition of the show? Well, in addition to talking about the Oscars, another deadline day today for Ohio's much debated and delayed redistricting maps. A delay in election day for some races seems almost guaranteed now. The question now is, will there be two elections, one on May 3rd, one for the State House later, or should the entire election be delayed? Mary Sherman will take a look at some of the folks who have thoughts on that coming up a little bit later on this morning. President Biden said Putin cannot remain in power during a speech in Europe over the weekend. Now the whole world's trying to figure out what did he mean by that? We'll do our own analysis of that coming up a little bit later on. As expected on Friday, a group of family and friends gathered in front of Wheeling City Hall, asking questions about that fatal shooting on Wheeling Island a week ago. One council member shared her support. We'll review. Several people told me that they thought McCabe and I were too tough on this issue last week, Friday. I'll continue to raise the questions I think I've been raising. We'll get into that coming up a little bit later on. And the St. Peter's Cinderella ride came to an end this weekend, Biff. I guess it was too much to hope they could make it all the way, but it was a heck of a ride St. Peter's made, though.
Yeah, they'll certainly be remembered in the history books of NCAA tournaments for the run that they made.
It was an amazing run. We'll take a look at that. Coming up a bit later on, Billy D may have some thoughts on that in his morning sports report as well. And then, what exactly is a tyrant? Do Putin and Trump qualify as tyrants? And what makes a tyrant, and how does the tyrant become possible? A professor of philosophy and ethics, Dr. Andrew Fiala, has written a book on that subject, and he'll be delving into that with us coming up a little bit later on this morning. So, my friends, that's what I have for you. Ukrainian update as well. A few more odds and ends I want to get to. Some fun stuff, including a new breakfast sandwich coming from McDonald's. But your calls and comments are most important to me. 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, or the CityNet hotline. Use it, 304-232-8255. It is going to be a cold day today, 32. Freezing is the best we're going to do during the day. We're going to start off with a few flurries this morning. Some sun could come in later on in the day. What's the rest of the week going to look like? Aaron Myler's by in just a handful of minutes. But first, let's check with Aaron's compadres over at the Big Seven for some Ohio Valley headlines.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF. My Ohio Valley and
Good morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your 7 News headlines. There may be a couple of delays on your commute today if you live in Ohio or Marshall County. 27th Street in Wheeling will be restricted today between 7 a.m. and 5 so that a gas line can be replaced. That will run every day through Thursday. And in Glendale, a section between 7th Street and Washington Avenue will also be restricted between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. That will go from today through Friday. And we have another traffic update in Marshall County. Authorities reported Route 88 is back open following an accident that occurred last night. A sandbox truck reportedly lost its sandbox on the road, and officials were cleaning the area. Emergency personnel confirm there were no injuries in the accident. Distracted driving is a major issue Ohio Governor Mike DeWine spoke on during the State of the State address last week. He says House Bill 283 is essential. The bill prohibits driving while using an electronic communications device. These laws are put in place to keep everyone safe, not just those operating the vehicles. Governor DeWine says this is about protecting lives and getting these bills passed in the way to do it. Don't forget you can find these stories and everything you need to know over on WTRF.com and, of course, the WTRF app. The app is free on the Google Play and Apple Store. That was a look at your headlines. Have a great rest of your day and rest of your week, everyone.
At home, the Penguins crushed the Detroit Red Wings 11-2. This is the Pens head coach, Mike Sullivan.
You know, it's nice to score goals. It's good for a lot of our guys. It's good for their confidence. It's good for our power play. There's a number of positives that you can take out of it.
Gino Malkin led the way with a hat trick. Penguins 6-3-1 in their last 10 games will host the New York Rangers on Ben Roethlisberger night on Tuesday. College basketball Sunday, North Carolina beat St. Peter's 69-49. Kansas all over Miami, 76-50. This is Kansas head coach Bill Self.
We had about 2 good plays turned into 4, which turned into 8, which turned into 16. That was about as well as we could play the second half. And, you know, these guys earned it. So proud of them, proud for our program. And
so your Final Four is set. North Carolina will face Duke. That's a great matchup. And Kansas will meet the Wildcats of Villanova. In sunny Florida, the Yankees over the Pirates 7-4. Aaron Judge with 2 home runs for the New Yorkers. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
This is Bill DeFabio, your host of the variety show with Bill DeFabio. Heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tune in and get with the program. I'm Bill DeFabio. Join me for the Variety Show on the Watchdog.
You make 35,000 decisions every day. Are your gambling decisions good ones? If you struggle with a problem with gambling, call 1-800-589-9966 for free confidential support. Do you have a loved one who struggles with a problem with gambling? This 24/7 helpline also provides resources on how to support a loved one who may need help. Call 1-800-589-9966 or visit beforeyoubet.org.
Did you know that 3 Ohioans are diagnosed with oral cancer every day? Dentists are doctors of dental surgery and can recognize life-threatening conditions and treat oral diseases before they become serious health complications. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
We are compassionate.
We are focused.
We are confident.
We are dependable.
We are resilient.
We are skilled.
We are empathetic.
We are knowledgeable.
We are respectful.
We are here.
For you and your family.
We are close to home. We are
WVU Medicine.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
The energy industry is fueling the local economy. There are hundreds of high-paying jobs available now in the Ohio Valley. Join WTRF and the Ohio Valley Oil and Gas Association for the 2022 Ohio Valley Energy Job Fair on March 29th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Highlands Event Center, presented by the Stingray Companies. Meet with businesses from industries like oil and gas, electric utility, environmental services, and more. For more information, visit WTRF.com.
Keep up with the ever-changing world of sports all night long. Sports Map Radio is on the Watchdog, FM 98.1, AM 1600. You can listen to the Watchdog on your Amazon personal assistant. Just say, Alexa, play WKKX from TuneIn, or play WVLY from TuneIn.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
You know, we have been talking a lot over the last couple of weeks about the fact that we are now 2 years into COVID, and perhaps we're finally on our way out of the COVID pandemic. Maybe it's going to become an endemic, something we'll live with, but at least we'll live with it. A lot of folks have stopped wearing the masks. The push for vaccines has kind of dropped down because those who are going to get them are getting them. Those who aren't just aren't. And the world is getting, or America at least, is getting somewhat back to normal. We're finding there is a new normal. We had talked about that 2 years ago. Whenever normal came, would it be a new normal? But another example of how, but although there are some still cautionary things out there, folks are saying this new variant that's roaming around Europe could be coming here, and although it may not be more intense than Omicron, it may be more spreadable. So, you know, we're still hearing that talk. Pfizer and Moderna both talking about maybe the need for another vaccine and so on and so forth. But here's a good sign, the map in West Virginia, our COVID-colored map that we've relied on for the last 2 years, first time in 2 years, all green. All green. All 55 counties in West Virginia now in the green. There was a time not too long ago where all 55 counties were in the red or the orange. But now everybody is back in the green. The numbers are definitely going down. Total active cases in West Virginia over the past 2 months have gone down by more than 97%. Now, yes, there are still hospitalizations. Yes, there are still deaths, but the actual number of cases diagnosed or positive test results, if you will, dramatically down. 97% decrease in the last couple of months. Dr. Marsh, because I guess the medical doctors have to be a little careful about this, or the infectious disease doctors. Dr. Marsh says, well, we're getting close to the end. I don't know if we're there yet or not. And I suppose we're not. We're close to the finish line, but we've got to keep moving on. But to me, Biffy, do you remember when every morning we had to look at this map to see what was going to go on, to see what kind of, schools were going to be in session? God help us, 2 years ago, it always depends, who's going to play football this weekend? We've got to look at that darn map. That seems like so long ago, but it was only a year ago, basically. So that situation is, we're getting much better. We have now gone to an all-green map in West Virginia. Governor Justice made some comments about it at his Friday COVID briefing. Now, here's the question I have for the governor, since I'll make this a little bit political, too. First of all, it's a celebratory thing, an all-green map. I'm pleased to see that. But I also want to make a little political point here. The map is green. COVID seems to almost be gone. Cases are down 97%. Does the governor still have to, A, do a multi-time-a-week COVID conference? No. I mean, there's not that much information to come out. When he first began his COVID conferences every day, we carried them live. Everybody did. It was a big deal. He was making decisions every day about what's open, what's closed, what are the new guidelines going to be. All made perfect sense. So the first question is, does it make sense to even have these COVID conferences anymore? The answer is no. Second question or comment is, since everybody is green, everything is opened up, Governor, why are you still hiding inside the bunker? Why are you still doing those closed sessions to the press? Where the only questions to ask are when somebody says, Brad McElhaney, you may ask your question. And then they push a button and let Brad speak. And then they cut him off. And Brad may have more to say, but it doesn't make any difference. They cut him off. So, Governor, maybe it's time to, A, come out of the bunker, and B, stop these daily events. And maybe, C, those of us in the media should stop covering him on a regular basis. A lot of the reporters I am familiar with, like Brad and Stephen and Mark and Phil Kabler and a number of others, have stopped watching the daily press events now. Sometimes they catch them, sometimes they don't. It's not that big a deal. But anyways, the good news is we've got an all-green map, and I guess that's a good thing. It's not a good thing that we're a week into spring, and I'm looking at 22 degrees outside. Aaron Myler, does spring not understand what it's supposed to be?
Don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, it didn't get the message. We're going to have to do like a sun dance or a warm dance or something to get them to listen. Because I
think it's time for an intervention it's time for an intervention with spring,
This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. We're going to have to do something about it.
And what a weird week it looks like. I'm looking at the 7-day forecast. It's cold right now, 22 degrees at the airport. We're looking at a predicted high today of 32. And then in 2 days, we're going to be 70?
Yeah, Yeah, so it's going to be, I mean, there's a warm front coming through. It's going to allow, like, which is good. 'Cause it's going to let us get that warmth there on Wednesday. But yeah, you're right. It's like, it's so that drastically back and forth. Like you said, 32 today. The coldest day that we've had on record was in 1904 of 30 degrees for the high. And we're barely getting above that. So we're really close to over a centuries long record here today. And then like you said, we're going to be 70 on Wednesday. And then we're going to get some rain in there. And then Thursday's still pretty warm. Thursday's looking like timing's not 100% yet. There's a good chance that Thursday's one of those days where we start off a little bit warmer and then slowly start to cool off from there. But I mean, either way, Wednesday, 7, I mean, it's literally like 40 degrees warmer than where we are today. So it really is just going to be a big difference.
It's just, come on, spring, get your act together. I mean, I know we've had Easter snows in the past. I remember them. I mean, I know spring isn't always perfect spring-like weather, but this spring just seems to not know what it wants to do. And we've only been technically in spring for a week.
Yeah, I think also we have the last couple weeks of winter were so warm that then we go from that to this. It's just it feels shocking. And then even going we're going to have 70 on Wednesday, and we're all probably going to get used to that 70 on Wednesday. And then we go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and temperatures are back in the low to mid 50s. We're all going to be complaining it's cold again. So
Right, it's too cold outside. What happened to 70 degrees? Well, if we complain about that, I'll remind people it was 30 on Monday. Had a little the snow yesterday. I ran into a couple of people who hit some snow squalls yesterday morning. Mostly we just had a little flurry activity, and as I was out and about driving on my way into church, I noticed that a lot of the roofs had some light dusting of snow on their house, but on the roof. But several folks told me they had hit some snow squalls yesterday. It was a little dicey for a while, so kind of some winter weather that hit us over the weekend too.
Exactly. It's when it gets real windy, it's so when I was in Pittsburgh this weekend, so when I was driving back yesterday, it's just some of the time you're oh my gosh, you can barely see a little bit ahead of you just because it wasn't that much snow in the grand scheme of things, but it's enough snow where when it's windy, in addition to that, it just makes it so dramatic, and then it feels like you can't see stuff at times because you get so much wind and snow at the same point in time. So yeah, it was something. It is something. I mean, there's still flurries outside right now. It's still gonna be a little bit breezy through the day today. So I think the big thing with the breeze today, though, is going to be that you'll notice it taking your feels temperatures down into the peak temperature is probably not going to feel 32. It's probably going to feel it's 20 or 21 or something. So I mean, still some snow, but just mainly cold today.
No, it is. I think right now, the last time I checked, the airport temp was 22. And let me do it real quick. It's actually, according to Storm Tracker 7 on my phone, it's 21 degrees at the airport, and it feels like 11. Holy mackerel.
Ooh, toasty.
Boy, you want to bundle up this morning. Yes. I guess it would be jacket weather this morning for sure. We do have flurries, as you just mentioned. Is that just going to be a brief flurry event this morning and go away? Is that the game plan?
We're probably going to see it lasting a little bit farther in the morning, or maybe a little bit into the afternoon. I think the problem is it's whenever it's this cold, it's just any moisture in the air is just going to freeze, which is the problem. And then also the lakes, and it's breezy out of the north, so it probably won't be something we see like yesterday. We had pretty decent flurries all day long. It'll probably taper down as we get later in the morning or the afternoon. But I mean, you still can't roll out a stray thing here and there. But definitely, it's looking like the least snowy of the past 2 days.
God, that's the way we're having to look at things. The least snowy. Oh, my God. All right, run me down the forecast for the week. We've kind of given you an overview. Tell me what the forecast is going to be for the week.
Yeah, so we're going to have that today with 32. We'll have some sunshine trying to get out at time. And then also we're going to have tomorrow, partly cloudy, mostly sunny. So tomorrow should be sunny, decently sunny as well. After that, we're going to go and have, as we saw, rain Wednesday morning. Probably starting real early, so most people won't notice it, although they'll wake up noticing it. But as that was a high of 70. Rain showers, a better chance for rain will be on Thursday. And like I said, we'll probably start off pretty warm that day and then cool off a little bit more as we get through the rest of your day from there on out. And otherwise, I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yes, it's in the low to mid 50s, but we're going to even out a little bit more for your temperatures, it's looking like. So it'll stay a little bit more consistent eventually, and then from there we'll have another chance for showers on Sunday, but that's still very far away. So, yeah. Warm for the
It
next
certainly
couple
is
days.
going to be. It's going to be a variable week, though. It's a good week to carry Storm Tracker 7 with you on your iPhone or your tablet. That way you can keep up to date wherever you may be, because, again, it's just going to be some days rainy, some days windy, some days snowy, some days cold, some days hot. It's spring of 2022, I guess. Hey, listen, congratulations to all the team over at WTRF TV. Big awards that you guys won this weekend.
Yeah, well, not me, but but yeah, they got a lot of good
Well,
stuff.
the team. Remember, now, listen, remember, Aaron, we are a team. You are a team. I consider us part of your team. So congratulations to the team.
Yay, we're all winners. Yeah, no,
Here you
it
are.
is. Like, we got digital. They got Catherine got for her series called Veterans Voices, that I'm sure you guys have seen before. Brenda got the Lifetime Achievement Award. That might not be the technical name it was called, but it was that general concept.
Actually, I think it was called the Lifetime Achievement Award, yes.
Well, you know, sometimes they always make up new names for those kind of things. I was like, you never know.
Right.
But, yeah, so, I mean, it was, yeah, I mean, I don't know how many awards there were total, but, I mean, we did pretty well, so can't complain. It's nice. I think it's nice people are recognized.
Absolutely. I think second year in a row that John Lynch and the digital team won for best digital effort. So congratulations there. It's why I always say I keep not only Storm Tracker 7, but I keep the WTRF TV 7 app on my phone. It's a great way to keep in touch with things. Throughout the day, WTRF is the first place I go to look their website to see, not just what's happening here in the Ohio Valley, but also some different and interesting stories. Johnny does a good job keeping that up. And the only thing I want to say about Brenda Dainhart, and she absolutely deserves every accolade that she possibly can get. But, I've reached that point in my life, too. When they start giving you things like Lifetime Achievement Awards, it's when you start going, guys, I'm not done yet. I mean,
yeah, it's like so kind and slap across the face at the same time.
Exactly. So, believe me, Brenda Dainhart deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award. She has done a tremendous job over the years. I worked with her when she was just but a budding reporter, and she has.
And she has to deal with me every day.
Well, I tell you what, one thing Brenda is good at that I never was is she really is good at working with people. Biff, you can attest to this. I'm not so good with people,
You're decent. We'll say decent.
Okay. Yeah,
Decent, not going to give you too much credit,
we'll
give you a little bit.
Clearly, yeah. But Brenda's really good at working with people and helping people, find their way through sometimes the early years of the business. And she's been around for a while. I don't mean that she's old. I just mean she's been around for a while. She knows what she's doing. So Lifetime Achievement Award certainly is she's deserving of that. She was inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame a year or two ago. So she's she's an icon here in the Ohio Valley. And if I said that to her, she probably would kind of go, icon? I know I'm not an icon. She might say to me something like, Mark Davis was an icon. Mark was the iconic anchor years and years ago. But
and me,
I think Brenda's
obviously.
become an icon too. Yeah. Let me check my icon paper here. Ohio Valley icons. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's on here somewhere. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Anyways, to all the team over there, congratulations. And it is a team effort. You guys have a good team. You all work together under the auspices of the leader, Brenda, and Roger above her. And it's just good to see you guys winning. So congratulations to Catherine and to John and to certainly to Brenda. And I feel like I'm forgetting another award. Was there another award? I should have brought my notes and I didn't bring them. But anyways, to everybody who won, congratulations. And hey, Biff, listen, maybe if you could look around there and see if we can find like an old button or something, and we can give Aaron an award of our own of some kind, so I don't feel left out.
With a cash prize.
Yeah. We'll see what we have here.
Yeah, we got something laying around we can give him and call it an award. Hey, Aaron, appreciate your help this morning. Thanks for the forecast. Not thanks for the forecast, thanks for giving us the forecast. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you then. Have a good one.
All right, thanks a lot. Aaron Myler, Big 7, WTRF TV. 22 is what the airport, 21. It's actually dropped since I started out this morning. 21 is what Storm Tracker 7 says the airport is calling for. 20 degrees here at my home studios and 20 at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. It really is nice, Biff, to see our friends, our news partners over at Channel 7 pick up so many awards. They really do a good job. And, Brenda is, I don't want to call her captain of the team. She's like the maestro of the symphony. How's that? Is that a better phrase?
That'll work.
I'll call her the maestro of the symphony. She works hard to get all of the notes playing together to give us good music. That is the TV7 news updates at noon, 5, 6, 11, and 30, 10, and 11, and all that kind of good stuff. And, of course, John Lynch, congratulations again for another award-winning website. 5 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Do I have to do another break, Biffy?
We are good till 8.
Then let me stick with TV7 here just for a minute and remind you, and I thought we were going to do something with one of the TV7 people, but I guess we weren't able to work that out last week. So anyway, the Ohio Valley Energy and Job Fair put on by WTRF TV and the Ohio Valley Oil and Gas Association is coming up tomorrow at the Highlands Event Center. It'll be the Ohio Valley Energy Job Fair tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Highlands Event Center. And all different kinds of companies involved in the energy industry are going to be on hand, and they'll be providing information about the kinds of jobs they have. They'll be taking resumes, I guess, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're looking for work and you want to work in the oil, gas, energy industry in general, multiple companies will be on hand, and this will be a chance for you to get up there to at least see what's available, maybe to actually talk to some folks and apply for a job or find out how to apply for a job. But the energy industry is a huge part of the Upper Ohio Valley, and the WTRF TV7 Ohio Valley Energy Job Fair tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Highlands Event Center. If you're interested, stop by. Speaking of energy, the average price of a gallon of gas, we know, has been on the rise. It's been a big story. It's been big on social media. Gas going up, can't afford gas. And I understand it. For many people, it's become a real issue. You got to get where you're going to go. You got to get to work. You got to get to your kids to child care. You got to do whatever has to be done. But the price of gas going up dramatically. It has gone up and up and up for the past 9 weeks. And, of course, if you read social media, you would then think that Joe Biden personally went out and turned the price mechanism on all the pumps up. It's Biden's fault, say an awful lot of people. Okay, here's my point. If it is Biden's fault the price of gas is going up, then is it his fault that as of this week the price is going down? The average price of a gallon of gas in this country, now that's not here, but across the country, border to border, coast to coast, according to the Lundberg survey, the Trilby Lundberg, the Lundberg survey keep track of gas prices all across the country. The average price of a gallon of gas dropped 6 cents over the past week. Average price now $4.37 a gallon. Still too high? Yeah. But it is dropping, not going up. Let's see, the highest average price, now the average $4.37. Highest $5.99, $6 a gallon, Biff. Can you imagine that? That's in Los Angeles. California always has the highest prices. $5.99 a gallon there. Lowest average price, $3.70 a gallon in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I have seen a couple of local stations, Biff, that have been down in the 3, maybe 80 range over the last week or so. What are you seeing? What have you paid, or what are you seeing as you're out and about with gasoline?
Anywhere between $3.99 and $4.09.
Yeah, I mean, 4 o'clock has been 4 o'clock. $4 a gallon has been kind of the benchmark. I have seen now some here locally that are below that. I've seen them in the 380s. It kind of caught my attention when I did. But I think $4 is still where most of them are roaming around. At least not 6 like California. Lowest price, $3.70 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look, do we give Biden credit for lowering the price of gas? We do not. Because I don't call Biden the fault for the price of gas rising either. Gas prices rise and fall on a variety of economic reasons. Almost none of them are political. So I don't give Biden credit for the prices going down because I don't give him the blame for the prices going up. But at least over the last week, the prices are going down. Hey, it's 8 o'clock in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. ABC covers the world right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News.
After 10, I got him. It's not a problem. All right. Hey, Biff, you there? You okay this morning? You sound a little distressed. Yeah? Did you have problems or anything? Problems there or any difficulty this weekend or something? I'm not prying. You just seem a little bit out of kilter. I always worry about you. Okay, all right. I'm going to use the Ohio News piece somewhere in the first 20 minutes or so on the voting thing. I sent you an Ohio News channel report. We'll use that. And oh, you know what we should do first before we do that? Let's talk about March Madness and St. Peter's and stuff. We'll start off with that. Is that okay with you? Okay, we'll do that to start with. And then I'll get to a couple of the local stories, including that Ohio story. All right, I just was checking to make sure you're okay. All righty.